Hey everyone, it's CajunDIYDiva, CajunDIYDiva. Can't talk. Hope I can cook. Today we are going to make something for the holidays. We're going to make homemade cranberry sauce with a nice little southern kick. And I'm going to do 2 batches. I have 2 bags of cranberries. This is like a pound. No, they're 12 ounce. 2 12-ounce bags of fresh cranberries. You can get any brand. Just want to make sure that the berries are like not mushy at all and not like starting to melt, I guess. And you can just use the recipe that's on the bag. They all have pretty much the same recipe, but I like to kick it up and make it a little bit extra special. So what I'm going to do is, if you want to do the recipe with just 1 bag, because that's really all you need for your Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, it's going to make enough. You need 1 cup of sugar. This is the recipe on the bag. 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water and this bag of cranberries. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to add some orange zest, because that's just going to make it extra delicious, and the juice of the orange. So I'm going to zest it first, then I'm going to add the juice. Oh look, I have paint on my fingers. I'll wash my hands before I start cooking. Here's my sugar. I'm just using regular white granulated sugar, and then we're going to have a little kick of some whiskey for the kick, and we're going to put that in right at the end, and it's going to make it extra delicious. So let me show you how I like to zest. I have this cool little tool. Can you see that? It has little tiny holes right there. Now you can use, any kind of zester you want, but I like this thing because you can make decorative zest with it. And you just peel it down and it pulls the zest. So, just doing this and then maybe sticking some cloves like in between. It could be really cute for your holiday table if you did a bunch of oranges after you zested this. That could look really cute. But this is how hard it is. It's just doing this. So you're just getting strips of the zest. Okay, so I have these strips of zest, but I don't really want strips in my zest, so I'm just going to take my scissors and just kind of, this is my kitchen shear, and just kind of snip them up until they're a little bit more finely cut, so that you don't get big pieces of orange zest in your mouth when you're cooking. But even if you do, it's still really good. And of course, you can just use a knife on a cutting board and do that. So I'm going to get my stuff ready to go to the stove, and I'll be right back. Okay, I want to also show you that I'm going to, the recipe calls for 1 cup of water, but I'm actually doubling this recipe, so I'm going to need 2 cups. But I have, I cut my oranges in half, and let's see if they fit in this little orange juicer. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze out the juice of these oranges, and then what's left, it's not going to fill up this 2-cup measure, but I'll just fill the rest of it up with water after I squeeze all the juice out of this. So, and then I'll be back and we'll be ready to cook. Okay, so I'm ready to start cooking. So I'm going to turn up the heat. And what you want to do first is you want to put in your sugar and your liquid, which is a mixture of orange juice and water. I'm going to put those together and bring it up to a boil. And then you'll add the cranberries. I just want to tell you that if you're making this, you want to follow the directions, the cooking directions on the package, and you're making a whole berry cranberry sauce. This is not going to be a jellied cranberry sauce. Alright, so my water is coming to a boil now, so now I'm going to throw in the rest of my ingredients. Well, not everything, but I'm going to throw in the cranberries. Oh, and I did want to mention, you want to run your hands through the cranberries because some of them might have stems, and that's not that pleasant for the little stems. They're perfectly edible and everything, but they're not that pleasant for them, the texture, to be in your cranberry sauce. So I'm just going to put them in kind of slowly at first because I don't want the hot liquid to splash up. And now I think there's enough in there that I can put the rest. When these are done, when this is cooked, I'm going to put it in cute little mason jars, and these are perfect gifts. I used to give these to my kids' teachers. See, I found a stem. So that somehow I missed it from my first looking around, so you might want to check them really good. And I can already hear them start to pop. And this is my orange zest. I'll put all that in. Oops. Okay, so here they are, and they're, I'm going to turn the heat down. I'm kind of letting it come back to the boil, and then I'm going to turn the heat down and left, I thought I just saw another stem. And what happens is the berries will pop. Right now they're nice and whole, and you know, you can even smash them a little bit, but you really don't have to because they'll just pop on their own as they're cooking. And once they're all popped, that's when it's pretty much done. So I'm just going to let these simmer for a while until all of them have popped. And you see, let me show you one. And I don't know if you can hear it. Can you see that one? It has a little line going across where the skin popped. So the skin, it's the skin that's popping. Now I'm going to turn it down because I don't want a crazy popcorn explosion going on in here. But it's the skin that pops and lets what's inside the berries come out, and it kind of jellies on its own. You don't need to put any kind of jelly stuff in it that you would normally put in regular jellies. So I'm just going to let this continue to cook, and I'll come back when all the berries are popped. I just want to show you they're still cooking and popping. It's been about, I don't know, 2 minutes. I have it on a medium-high heat because I don't want this to take all day. But you can see that some of the berries are starting to really deflate now, and that's good. That means that all of their juicy innards are coming out of their shell, and it's starting to thicken now. But you don't have to stir this constantly. You can just stir it every couple of minutes, and don't let it boil over. Just kind of keep an eye on it. And I like to cook it until it's kind of, you know, thickened. I want it a little bit more thickened than it is right now. And I want all the berries to have popped. So if there's some berries that I think haven't popped, I'm just going to kind of push with my spatula. I love using these silicone spatulas. See, I just popped one. And it's coming up a little too high. I'm going to turn it down again because I don't want it to boil over. It's foaming a little bit right now, but that'll kind of go away too. And I just want to make sure that they're all popped. It really doesn't take long to do this, and the quality of this is so much better than the stuff you get in the can. It's so quick to make, and it's pretty cheap to make, so you should make your own. And people love this if you bring this to their house. Or if you just need a little, you know, something to give a neighbor, or you need a little happy gift when you go over to a holiday party, bring this in a cute little mason jar, and people love it. I just want to show you they're still cooking and popping. It's been about, I don't know, 2 minutes. I have it on a medium-high heat because I don't want this to take all day. But you can see that some of the berries are starting to really deflate now, and that's good. That means that all of their juicy innards are coming out of their shell, and it's starting to thicken now. But you don't have to stir this constantly. You can just stir it every couple of minutes, and don't let it boil over. Just kind of keep an eye on it. And I like to cook it until it's kind of, you know, thickened. I want it a little bit more thickened than it is right now. And I want all the berries to have popped. So if there's some berries that I think haven't popped, I'm just going to kind of push with my spatula. I love using these silicone spatulas. See, I just popped one. And it's coming up a little too high. I'm going to turn it down again because I don't want it to boil over. It's foaming a little bit right now, but that'll kind of go away too. And I just want to make sure that they're all popped. It really doesn't take long to do this, and the quality of this is so much better than the stuff you get in the can. It's so quick to make, and it's pretty cheap to make, so you should make your own. And people love this if you bring this to their house. Or if you just need a little, you know, something to give a neighbor, or you need a little happy gift when you go over to a holiday party, bring this in a cute little mason jar, and people love it. Okay, so it has cooked down, I think, all of the, well, there might be one right there that didn't pop yet, yeah. But pretty much all of them have popped now, all of the cranberries. Just kind of smashing against, but you can see how thick and luscious it is now. And once it cools, it will thicken up even more. So you don't want to cook it too long so that it's too thick, because this is perfect right here. So what I'm going to do now is turn off the heat. Okay. Give it a few stirs. And now I'm going to add my kick. Now, you can put whatever you want. If you want to put bourbon, that's a good choice. It would go nicely with the orange flavor. Or if you say maybe you want to put rum, that also something sweet based like rum would be good. So I'm going to use this, this, my husband says, has kind of a sweet base as Southern Comfort, but you don't have to use Southern Comfort. You can use whatever you want. So I'm going to put in 2 jiggers of it. And I'm just going to let the heat that's in the pot continue the cooking of it. Alcohol, of course, cooks out when you put it into something that's cooking. There may still be a tiny little bit of, oh, I thought that was one that wasn't popped, but it had popped. It may still have a little bit of alcohol content because I did turn the fire off, but I really don't think so because it's super, super hot right now. And so I'm just going to let this see how beautiful the color is. That just looks like Christmas or holidays. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like when I come back in a jar, and it's going to look really cute. Okay, so I'm filling my mason jars. You could use whatever size mason jars you want. I'm using half-pint jars because these make nice gifts to hand out to neighbors, and it makes great teacher gifts. You might just want to warn whoever you give it to that there is a little bit of alcohol in there. So this recipe makes about 6 half-pint jars. You can see there's not much left in there. So it fills up about 6 half-pint jars. This can vary depending on how long you cook it. If you made it thicker, there might be less in there. You want to fill until leave some space at the top. No more than like ½ inch. You put the lids on, and these are sterilized jars. You want really clean jars. You put the lids on. Don't tighten too tight because they could crack. And what's going to really seal is this part, not the rim. So to seal these, I'm sorry, I wasn't showing you. This little lid part is the part that's going to seal. This rim, you don't want to screw that too tightly on because that's just an accident waiting to happen. So to seal these jars so that people can just put them in their pantry until they're ready for their, holiday meal, you would put them in a cold pot. You don't want it already heated up with water already boiling because that's going to make the glass break. So put them in a pot, put all the jars in first, then add water, and you want to come a little bit over, maybe an inch over the top of the jars. And then bring it to a boil, let it boil for about 10 minutes, and then turn off the heat. I usually like to just wait until they cool off because they're really hot. And then when they're finished and they're all sealed, you check right here to make sure they don't do this anymore. Once they're sealed, they won't pop up and down anymore. And then you can give them as gifts. You can decorate them any way you want. You could put them in a cute little gift bag, or you could just simply put a little bow, maybe tie a little cute little gift tag to it, or put a little label up here saying what it is. And that's all there is to it. So this is Cajun DIY Diva. I hope you enjoy this video. Please click like and please share. Thank you.